Boxing fans, we are here in London. Tony Ferguson, man, what a legend of the combat sport world. I want to ask you though, you've done so much in UFC and with MMA in general. What made you come over and put on these boxing gloves and a pair of shoes that you don't get to wear in MMA?
I wasn't allowed to box when I was growing up. Okay. My pops let me have a heavy bag and a speed bag. And that was it. He says, you're going to play sports that's going to get you in college because I'm not paying for your ass to get to school and get education. So I stayed with that, but I was allowed to hit the bag. I've been hitting the speed bag since I was like 15. I'm 41. So it was due in time to be able to do this shit. I had a couple buddies that were boxing and they're like, why don't you box? And that was always the reason. Pops would always say no. So now I've accomplished everything I want to accomplish so far yet in MMA. Now it's for boxing.
Just talk to me then, you've come into a different realm of boxing. It is sort of an influencer scene. Salt Papi is very much on top of that influencer scene. What do you make of this scene that you're about to enter?
I think it's awesome. I think it's a well-rounded ship. You have a lot of production and crew, everything is going smooth. I've been around in different places where it hasn't run so smooth, but usually when you have a good team backing you up, you make shit happen. And that's what I see here, and I just want to be a part of it. And that's best bet.
You spoke about having a heavy bag when you were younger. Is this something that you've always trained on the side, a little bit of boxing on the side? You've always been taking over for something like this?
Where I grew up, I fought a lot. And I was probably the only guy that looked like how I look. And so when I grew up, I wore dress shoes all the time, and I wore not tight-fitting clothes, but clothes that I knew I could move around in. And so that's how it always was with me. And so I've always stayed on point. And that was all you're talking about, like looking at everything as a weapon. You're talking about like literally being trained as a fucking killer. And so when it goes into sports, I was always that other stuff, that learning how to do all the like stuff that nobody really knows, kung fu and everything on the side. And then that was my thing. I love to do magic. I love to do all this kind of stuff, but nobody really knows that because that's just my stuff. So this is an opportunity for me to be able to go out there and demonstrate something I've been wanting to do for my whole life.
Why do because it's never the other way around. You never see boxers enter the cage. It's very rare that a boxer will, towards the end of the career, go into a cage and have an MMA, any sort of mixed martial arts fight. But you see a lot of mixed martial arts fights actually come into boxing. Darren Till's there. He's one prime example. Nate Diaz, Masvidal, they've all had a little bit done. Why is that? Why do you guys like to move over and get into the boxing ring?
I grew up playing multiple sports. Okay. So for me, like I grew up, look at this, is a national championship wrestling ring. This is a state championship football ring. I got a couple more rings at home. I've always, what is next? What's in the seasons, right? Seasons change, so do sports. And so like, this is that opportunity, you know? I mean, when it goes into other people, I can't speak for them. I don't fucking know whether it's whatever, but I know for myself, this was the next thing. Like, and this is the coolest shit because I'm excited. I get nervous now. I'm looking forward to this shit. And I haven't had that feeling since before pandemic.
What happens when you fight Salt Papi on the night?
I'm gonna hit him hard. I'm gonna hit him smart, and I'm gonna be moving. A lot of people are gonna see how I usually move with shoes on. So I don't really put out too much pad work or movement stuff on my Instagram or my social medias because of that. And I've done that for a long time. I've been super sneaky, like ninja with all my shit, stealthy, like 00 shades kind of shit. And so now everybody's gonna be able to see me go out there. I'm gonna throw out some pad work. I'm gonna throw out some shit because just because you see it doesn't mean you're gonna be able to defend it.
Final question from myself, and it's just the talk of the town in regards to influence in boxing and finding a professional fighter. Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul seems to be a fight that maybe the Saudis want to make at some point in the future. What do you make of that, first of all, from Jake Paul's point of view? Secondly, how long does Jake Paul last against somebody who's very accomplished like an Anthony Joshua?
I think accomplishment goes into the amount of work that you put in, and I know that Jake's not afraid of hard work. I mean, I haven't really seen him work too much, but what you see him and every other opponent that goes out there, his gas tank is getting better. He's putting on more weight. He's doing his thing. Everybody else, you know, KSI, everybody's trying to gain weight, but some people just can't do it all the time. Like Jake's able to do it and sustain that weight there. He's able to sustain that weight, keep his conditioning up, and to keep his bags and his sparring in there. I'm gonna be real. Any person's got to fucking punch his chance, and that goes with look at Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury, same fucking thing. And just because the name influencer or YouTube is along with it, that fuels the fire for that person that's going into battle for practice.
Tony Ferguson, always a pleasure to say thank you so much.